Hey, and welcome to another Firefly beading tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a braided wire and bead sun catcher. You can use any beads of choice. I'm going to be making a chakra style like this, using 7 beads, 8mm, and a crystal charm. Some tools you're going to need are your round nose pliers, some wire cutters, and I like to use 2 chain nose pliers when necessary. I'm going to need a crystal. I'm using 7 8mm beads with about a 1mm hole, some jump rings. I have 2 10mm jump rings, and then I also need a 20 gauge wire. This is craft wire. So I'm cutting 12 inches and then 8 inches of wire. So again, 12 inches and then 8 inches of wire, and I'll list everything down in the descriptions below. But the first thing I'm going to do is kind of find the middle of my 12-inch piece of wire. I'm going to take my 8-inch and kind of wrap it like my 12-inch, but I'm going to leave about a 3-inch tail and then bring the other end down to the end of my wire. So again, I'm grabbing in the middle of my 12-inch and then just partly down the 8-inch. So kind of like this. I have my 8-inch wire on top and my 12-inch wire underneath. Sorry I'm out of frame here, but all I'm going to do is just start to bend the wire around. Just like this. So I've got my 8-inch piece on the top part and the rest on the bottom, so it kind of looks like this. I'll turn it around so you can see. So again, got the top here and the bottom. So here's my this was part of my 8-inch piece with that small tail that we left. So I'm going to leave that little tail out of the way, and I'm going to try to gently bend up my other wires. I'm going to try to keep working on the pliers like this so that I can keep this loop. So essentially we're creating our top loop that everything will hang from. So again, I'm just gently bending up my wires so that they just generally are going in the up direction. Once they're where you need them to be, you're going to take your little tail here and you're going to wrap it around all of your wires. So I'm just wrapping it in a tight coil here. And I'm going to continue on with a coil. So I'm just going to tightly bring this little tail in a coil around and going up. So the wire is going up towards the top of the other wires. So basically it looks like this. So you can see it better from this angle. Trying to adjust here with my hands, but this is what it looks like. So this is what I mean by coiling it around. You want your coils to lay on top of each other. You want everything nice and tight, so you can see I'm kind of squeezing it so the coils look like this. Let's take a look at it and see. I have to readjust, so let me put this guy back in. Just bring this around a little bit, really pull tight, and then it's ready to snip off this end. Once you snip it off, it's always a good idea to use your chain nose and gently push down any little nub or tail that's sticking out. And then you can readjust everything as needed. Doesn't have to be completely round, just something that looks nice. Then you want all your wires to match at the end, so I'm just going to cut off with my cutters. So you should have something that looks similar to this. And what we're going to do now is kind of separate our wires. You'll see which direction they want to go in. So separate the right, middle, and left wires so that they look similar to this. Which is basically what the beginning of a braid looks like. So what we're going to do is grab our first bead in our pattern and we're going to thread it on the middle wire. You want it to go snug up to the top, as close as you can to those coils, but it's going to move on you. This is probably the hardest part, getting started, but we're going to take this left wire here. So you see we're going to bring that around and over the top of the middle wire. So it looks similar to this. And again, we want to keep everything kind of tight, so I'm really pinching with my left hand. Alright, so you see this middle wire here? We're going to take that and bend it out. So we're bending that essentially to the left if I'm holding it like this. So left wire's on top, middle wire goes to the left. Now we're going to take our white right wire and bend it around on top of everything else. Stop in the middle. Then take our chain nose pliers and gently put a tight bend up. So essentially a right angle. So it looks similar to this. And now we're ready to thread on our next bead. So this is going on the middle wire now, which was originally our right wire. It's a tongue twister. Okay, again, so up close, we're going to show you here. So I'm going to pinch everything. I'm going to take this left wire. I'm going to bring it around the top of the middle, just like this. I'm going to take my middle wire, push it to the left, tight, like this, keeping everything kind of tight. Take my right wire, I can say this, bring it to the middle. Then using my chain nose pliers, take that wire and bend it at a right angle so that it becomes our middle wire. Show you this one more time. So thread on your bead. Take your left wire, bring it around on top. Take your middle wire, bend out to the left. Take your right, bend it around on top. Keep tight, and then bend at a right angle so to keep it straight. So we're just going to continue on with this until we get as many beads as you want on here, or until you get to the end. Now here's my last bead. We're going to thread that guy on. Again, left wire around, middle out, right around. And we're still gonna, so this is the end here, but we're gonna still bend this guy up like we've been doing. So, let me get these pliers in here. There we go. All right, so bend it up at a right angle. So it should look similar to this. We're gonna take this top wire and we're just gonna bend it around. I'm out of frame. Essentially kind of starting a coil, kind of making everything tight. So we wanted it around both of those wires. Push everything tight towards that bead and then snip off a tail. Kind of check that everything is tight and coiled nicely and snip off anything extra. Watch your eyes when you're doing this. And again, smash, well, if you don't need to, because we're going to cover it actually with this. So we're going to take this wire and we're going to coil now around the one we just coiled. So nice tight coils like this. Now we can snip this off and gently push down with the wire here, with the pliers, I mean. Okay, so now we're ready to create this top coil, and we're gonna bend and then put the coil in. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bend it the other way, I think. So we're gonna bend it that way because we want our circle to go the same way as the other one. So we're gonna bend towards us, turn my pliers, bend away and to the left. Again, keep coming around, bend towards us, bend away and to the left. And then keeping my pliers here, I'm gonna create a coil with my tail going down. So let me see, let's keep coiling down. I'm out of frame, so sorry. Terrible at this. But all I'm doing is just curling my tail down, coiling my tail down to meet the other wires. And so we're going to stop here. Snip this guy off, watch your eyes. And then bend that guy in. Alright, so now you're ready to shape this how you need to, because things might need to be adjusted, and once everything looks nice and straight, you're ready to add on your chain or whatever you're going to hang this from. I like to add the little chain here, so I use a jump ring and I pull it through. Slip on my chain and close it back up. So you see I like to use 2 pliers when I'm opening jump rings. It just makes it easier to control. So again, I hold with one hand and twist. Slip it on, and this will be the part that hangs from a nail or hook or whatever else. Okay, and then for the bottom, I'm using a 12mm jump ring, and I already know that this will fit through my crystal here. Just want to make sure that whatever you put through fits nicely without putting too much pressure on the little tip. Okay, slip this guy on and close up the ring. And there you have it. A nice braided sun catcher in the chakra style. But again, you can use any bead you like, any crystals you want, but this is essentially how you do the braid. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Otherwise, hit like or subscribe to our channel to learn more beading tips. Happy beading from us at Firefly.